person on. And we are ready to go. Over to the live stream. Okay. This looks a little weird because it's pointed down, but we are ready to go. A couple of people are on. So we will need a single knife today. Doesn't really matter kind of what style, single blade, double blade, doesn't really matter. We'll be doing kind of an intro with footwork, a little bit of movement. It's going to directly core off of what we did last week with the 6 count. So I'm going to do a quick review on that one, do some footwork with it, as what we typically do with that drill, make a little mini form out of that, and then we're going to do this as a 2-person drill. So, and then that will be, I've got Stefan here tonight, and he's going to help me out. He hasn't done this before, and so he's going to help me out and sort of demonstrate how you do this with 2 people in it if you have a partner. If you don't, you'll have to use the form and just sort of understand from between the 2 of us what this looks like and why you are doing it. Okay, so to start out with, let me jump back over to my other side of the feed. Great, we will get started. Okay, so in the beginning, we are going to do, we're going to focus a lot on sidestep footwork on today's initial footwork pattern. Okay, so if we're going to start out, we're going to start with a 180-degree sidestep. I'm not going to spend a massive amount of time on this. I'm assuming that you've already got it on some degree or another. Okay, so I want to do a 180-degree sidestep. You don't need the knife right now. Okay, and again, make sure that when you're doing a 180-degree sidestep, that your hips are fully turning back and forth from here to here. So call it a 180-degree sidestep because we're totally changing direction, okay? And it's important that it's not just my upper body that's changing, that all my hips are doing a full square redirection. Obviously, if this is kind of an exaggeration on footwork, you're probably never going to do exactly what I'm doing, but you're training your body to move here, okay? Good, so now that you have that, let's start with upward 3, okay? Sidestep footwork, here, 1, chamber, 2, chamber, 3, okay, and then return to your starting spot with the sidestep. 1, 2, 3, and sidestep. So if I'm only going to illustrate sidestep, 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 sidestep. 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3, and back. Okay, I'm going to face away from you just so you can sort of see how this goes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and back. 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 Okay? Keep doing that. So the same thing. I just want you to get sort of comfortable with that flow. If you're having a hard time coordinating feet and hands, go ahead and focus on the hands right now. That coordination can be tough if you're just jumping into it. Okay, next one, and I'm sort of buzzing through this kind of quick. Normally I'd give people, 2 minutes just to do this on your own, but this is stuff you're supposed to already have. So I'm assuming that you have it and are going with it. Okay, so the next piece is the downward 3. Okay, so we're going to start off with here. Again, sidestep footwork here, and 1 here, 2, center, and this one's a little bit different because we're repeating, and this is 3. And back again to shoulder, 1, 2, center, 3. 1, 2, center, 3. Go ahead and switch this to reverse grip for fun. 1, 2, center, 3. And we're coming back to that same side. 1, 2, center, 3. Okay, I'm going to face this way. Here, side step forward, right? So you can see that. My hips are this way. 1, 2, center, 3. 1, 2, center, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that from the side. 1, 2, center, 3. 1, 2, center, 3. One thing you'll notice that when I do 3, if I was just standing still, 1, 2, 3, this sweep obviously avoids my body, but it's going to the same direction of the body. When I do sidestep, 1, 2, center. Actually, this is actually going to do the exact same thing, but it's not going this way. Now it's just, again, it's doing the same path, but it's tracing in front of my body. That's going to be important as we go into this drill. 1, 2, center, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're going to make kind of a little mini form out of that. We're gonna put the two of those together because many of you don't have training partners with you right now. We're gonna make a little mini form out of that so you can practice all the pieces together with the footwork. So we're gonna start off. Let's go reverse grip here. Edge orientation doesn't super matter on this one. It can be either one. It may, if you have a double edged knife, then it doesn't really matter. In general, I try to keep that reverse grip edge in, just because that's usually the way I handle the knife. But if your training knife doesn't feel well that way, don't do that. Also, if you don't have a training knife, get a stick. Don't use a live blade. Okay. So we're going to start off with let's start. Yeah, let's start reverse grip. I'm going to do a straight step forward. Okay. We're going to go 1, 2. Okay. So straight here, I want this hand up as a little bit of a guard or a check right here. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, we've done that. We're going to go just a little bit of a draw. 2, 1. Okay, so let's do that again. So 1, 2, 2, 1. We do that this way. 1. Okay, so forehand, backhand, forehand. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's 1, 2, 2, 1. And we're just sort of walking directly forward as we do this. 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, from now, we're going to add the 3 scoop from the high line. 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. That big hook comes underneath, and you'll see this hand. Again, it's not a checking hand. You'll see it when you do it on a person here, and then you're going to come underneath with a stab. Okay, so we're going to do that together as 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. The footwork on there you'll notice is on that last one, that scoop, 1, 2, 2, 1. Is just a little bit of a side shift. I'm just moving a little bit offline, scooping, and then coming underneath. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. Okay, so one more time, facing forward. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. 1, 2, 2, 1, scoop, stab. Okay, so that's half of it. So get that in the back of your mind. Now let's go to forward grip. So for forward grip, we're going to go straight. We're going to step forward, straight here with our number 1 of the rising, right? So 1, okay. Now I'm going to actually step off with my left. Let me just do this one. So 1, I'm going to step offline over here with this foot for that next piece. So 1, step offline. When I do that, so 1, I step offline, and when I do that, I'm going to go from this to, and this is a gunting, a crossing motion, as my hands go across. Okay, so it'll be 1, cross, 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 and 1, cross. Okay, so now that we've done that, 1, cross, thrust. This is now our number 2 thrust. Okay, now this is high level. So think neck, eye, something coming off that back kind of body. 1, cross, thrust. 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 Okay, so now I'm going to step offline and take this foot. I'm going to step across here, and then 1, cross, thrust. I'm going to turn it over, and it's another gunting as I come out this way. Okay, this is a roof block or Bayong block as we come out this way. 1, cross, here, step across, here, there's that Bayong, right, and then number 3, actually let's just do that. 1, gunting, thrust, and across with the Bayong. 1, gunting, thrust, Bayong. 1, gunting, thrust, Bayong. 1, gunting, thrust, Bayong. Okay, now we're going to go into this, my number 1, my number pre-thrust here. I'm going to step across and thrusting from here. So, 1, reaching, thrust, step across, palm, step across, thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're seeing these footwork patterns, there's a lot of stuff that we've done over the last several weeks that is now going into this. You're seeing sort of advanced transition. We just saw what was a bit of squaring footwork as we came across there. You're seeing the Pyong motion, all of the stuff we've done in the last month, but this is all putting it together. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last one is I'm going to step back and hug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I didn't mention it before. Rechamber back on that hip for 1. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, 5, 6. I'm starting to blend those together. Okay, so you actually have 2 6 counts on opposite sides of each other. We're to do that again, okay? And I'm not gonna shift my hand, but just so you see where this is coming from. To make sure I'm on the same page here. No, reverse it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now forward grip, bottom half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to reverse grip, here, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do that all together, the 2 6 counts, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, reverse grip. Oh, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, forward grip. Hand transitions from last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Transition here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Away. Go back to the forward grip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse grip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I just threw a ton at you, and that's a lot. But what now I want to do is so that you can see what's going on with this beyond it just being now 12 motions in a row, right? So and this is kind of like if I just did this and never gave an explanation of what the function of this is kind of kata without bunkai, right? This is a form, and while you can make sort of fighting application of this is actually really just the motions of the drill, okay? I'm going to bring Stefan here. He's never done this before, so he's going to be learning at the same time that you guys are learning. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. Let me change over to view. If you have questions on this, which I'm sure you will because it's a complicated drill to learn from distance. Okay, good. So he's going to start off with, give me forward grip. Forward grip's good. Okay, no, forward grip. Okay, forward grip, good. High line thrust, horizontal, right? So this high line thrust, I'm going to be here. So I'm going to do the first motion of the reverse grip form. 1, 2. Okay, so he goes high line, 1, 2. You're going to not let me stab you in the face and stop. Okay, so he press here, 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so now he is doing the other half of 1, and so beginning of form. Oh, actually here. Let's start this at a different point. Give me a little one first. I'm going to start reverse grip, just to make this congruent with the way I started. You thrust. Okay, I'm going to move offline, scoop underneath, and snap. Okay, so we're here. Offline, that's my second, my cat's back, and stab. So what that was here, and stab. He is starting at thrust to here in this form. Okay, so he goes low line, scoop, here, and I enter. So rest. Okay, and talk about sidestep, that's what I'm doing here. Scooping out of the way, actually come this way. Here. Okay, scoop, cleared space, underhook the arm, and enter. Okay, from his side, from now, the form was here to here. Okay, and it was here to here, up here, and here. So what he wants to do is here, I'm going to come this way, he's going to pass this, okay, and then he's going to loop and cut. That's your gunti. Okay, so you did here to here. See that transition?
Right. Because if I did like what I did, there's a chance that I would be breaking my fingers.
Well, I mean, there's always a chance. You're gonna, it's against the knives. Bad things are happening. Okay, so here, scoop, here. So you're pairing. Good. Now this hand is gonna loop and cut. This could be to the face. Just for safety right now, go ahead and work on the arm. So good. And then you're gonna end up over here. Okay. So thrust. Here, I come underneath, parry. And up to this. Way deep. So right, so because I'm here. Okay, one more time. Thrust, parry, loop, and cut. Good. And then you're chambered here. Just like that. And then again. Thrust, here, loop and cut. Good. Now, from there, this is your backhand. Okay, so he's stab me in the throat or something. Okay, so Thrust. Yeah, you're exactly right here. Cross, good. You're not come here. Okay? This is now back. Either I can go hammer this way. Okay? That's 1, 2, 2, 1. Right? If we looked at that part of the footwork. So we want here, 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 here. Okay? So that's here, here, here. And from you on, and you are going to be here and you step
Oh, right.
back. And cut that. Okay. Again. Thrust. Offline. And leave. Catch here. 2 here. Good. Thrust. And leave. Good. So, and you're seeing a couple different applications on that. So when I did 1 here, okay, I can either, there's a couple, I can do the basic motion, which would be meet, or I can parry, okay, and give me that backhand thrust.
Oh, right.
So, going this way, okay, and then return, or I can, give me that backhand line, I can just brush block it and come back this way. The brush block will give me a little bit more of a change in this one. If I want to stop it and really redirect it, I'll use the inward and return. So again, a couple different applications that are coming. So start low, start low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So you make contact, you go there. Good. And but Dunti, right? So yeah, good. As you come across, good. The thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oops.
Bang. Good. So
I know it was.
good. So 1, 2, good. 3, good. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
And sorry, I'm going back up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Good. Thank you.
I actually had a couple questions, if I could interrupt.
Sure, go ahead.
So the first question is that, how wide do you usually have to step? Like, do you have to get completely out of the way, or can you just step enough to where you still?
The only thing that matters is if they miss. There's no fixed amount. As long as you're not within the arc of my attack, it's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter if you miss me by an inch or a mile. If you have the time, make it miss you by a mile. Maybe, right? So that sometimes being able to just miss you by a little bit allows you to re-attack. Does that make sense? So you attack me here, and I can do this. I can also do this. But if I get all the way this far out, I can't re-engage. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be out of danger, but you won't be able to.
Right.
You know.
And if leaving danger was the goal, then I would cut your hand and ran. Nothing wrong with that. If the threat's not done and I have to re-engage, I may have to stay there. So it only matters if it's doing what you want it to do. Okay. Don't get hit as the first one. Okay. So bang, 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 bang. Good. Good. And usually maintain a little bit of a grip, right on it. And it doesn't have to be a death grip, right? But we're just sort of maintaining a little bit of check. Good.
So could I also hold it like this? Is that a better grip? Or?
So usually, typically on, so if you did Biome here, right? So usually I want that to press. Can I grab? Yeah, it's not a great grab. And if you hold me this way, stop me from coming in. Okay. There's the only thing between you and me is your thumb.
Yeah.
Arm. Okay. Bigger arm, bigger. Okay. So here, good. Here, good. Now look what your setup. Now this is your the horizontal thrust. Coming in, bang, bang. Okay. So we're back to the beginning of my side of the formula. So thrust, bang, 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 bang. Bang, here, bang. Don't let me stab you in the neck. Okay.
I mean, either or. I mean, I could also hit you with the handle.
I'm sorry. There's no difference in the attack. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So for you, you stop this. Right. okay? And then you're going to pull back and tip grip with this, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and 6 as I pull back. I think I showed that as a low line, and I guess I think I messed up. And you're going to actually pull back either tip grip or if you wanted to turn that over in your hand. Okay?
And then how do you turn it over, like straight from this?
Yep, so we'll do this, so now do the same thing. So you've got a single bladed knife, right? So here, 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 okay. So here, stop this. So you either can tip grip here, and you turn this over, right? And you just turn it over that way.
Oh, okay. I thought I would have to change, like.
No, just kind of do this. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Hold on. There. Now low line chamber. Low line first. You're starting with.
Oh, right. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So stop and pull.
I know. I keep reacting like that without, actually going through this.
Low line first. 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low line. Okay, let me see if they have any questions because that's complicated.
Yeah. I just don't think about the risks. I just think about.
Nope, no questions.
Yeah.
Hey guys, is that kind of making sense?
It's trying to make sense, but I'm not aiming for the risk. It's not coming to my mind.
Yes. So everything's a goofy on it, right? So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I showed that originally as this. Sorry guys, that was wrong. It's actually push pull as I come back to here. I got that end piece confused. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That sort of makes sense. If it doesn't, holler. If you have questions, holler. Makes sense. Awesome. Okay. We're going to do this again, just so you guys can see it one more time. I'm going to get with you later so you can reverse it, but I'm not going to do it on screen. So, okay. So let me change out the knives.
You want to switch up?
No.
Okay.
Black one's usually hard to see on screen. So.
Yeah, no, I was actually told by a soldier that small knives tend to be better knives because you don't really see them coming. Yeah,
give me if I'm in a knife fight, give me a big knife every day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Hold on. We've got good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And get a nice cut. Low line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's important to note, and really what this is training for and emphasizing here, is that reverse grip guy's job is to close. How are you sizing? Okay, so, and as reverse grip guy, typically you don't have quite the same range, and so I have to close, okay? And we can exaggerate that. I'll give him back his bigger knife here, and I'm also gonna wear some glasses on here because this gets a little pokey for me.
Do you want me to wear one too?
Nope, you're good.
It's because I'm tall, isn't it?
Well, it's because we'll be stabbing you. So,
Oh, okay.
well, we're trying, getting close to stabbing you in the face, but it doesn't actually happen. So I'm gonna do this part of the drill, facing it direct, and you can see that my job, you come here,
right,
that I'm gonna be burrowing on this one. Okay, so he's gonna start with that low line thrust. Okay, so that you can see my offline step here. Okay, and I'm closing, right? I want to, this is my job, is to get in close. If I stay out at this medium distance with him, okay, bad things are gonna happen. We're at medium distance, we can both stab each other to death, and that's bad, okay? Pikiti is close, right? Literally the meaning on Pikiti roughly translate, like Pikiti, think small, think close when you do this. So close, it directly translates to close thirds, but think close quarters. I want to close the close range. We did a lot of this drill at medium range, and really that's a transitory zone that we're moving through. So I'm going to ask a question. Okay, so he stabs 1, boom. This is how close I actually want to be, because now it's hard for him to use that longer weapon and the longer forward reach of that weapon. Okay, I'm not going to do it quite that much, but that's the intention of me at reverse grip. Okay, and it's also one of the other reasons why you see this reverse grip edge in. Reverse 1, 2. Oh look, he stopped me from stabbing him. Okay, edge in, right? So this is the sharp edge of the blade, right? So I can serrate as I come back. So let's come up a little bit closer. He stabs 1, 2. I go here. Oh, so even if he stops me, I can take, right? I can take this way as well as I go into whatever my next piece is. So he needs to be able to counter that. And it's actually one of the reasons when I did that part of the drill, 1, 2, he actually doesn't want to try to stop me. He's weak that way. So now the part of the drill here is he passes, right? So he's not actually trying to stuff me because he's not going to succeed in that. So now he stuffs, he actually wants to create space, and he's going to use, I'm controlling here under, the out for him is up on top. So this is where this loop comes, and actually my face is open, right here. Even if it's not a stab, but it's just a little bit of a loop that comes back this way. Why I'm wearing glasses. Okay, he stabs, bang, bang. So we got pass, okay, and it comes across the face. Now he's going to come back. And this is where I come back, or I come back with that backhand. Do that again. Thrust, enter. So pass, don't stop it.
Oh, right.
So pass, good, right?
Okay.
And if you only get the face, if you get the shoulder, fine. You're sort of, this is not a strong cut, but it's there, okay? If he had picked me up at long distance with it, you'd have a strong cut. This is weak, it doesn't matter. He's picking up something as he transitions into the chamber for that backhand thrust. 1, 2, oh, loop.
Loop, right,
Okay?
right.
So here, there you go, good. And then you're gonna come in, good. So thrust, bang, good. Here, okay, now again, I can do that brush block, or I can meet. Differences on this one are in terms of just general application. If I meet, I can pull, okay, in terms of that next piece, or I can brush block and I can stab. They're all kind of the same thing. I can come in this way, okay, so low, 1, 2, 3, I stab, bang, so now up in front, and there's your gunting, step across. And you're moving over here, right? You're moving off of my zone. Okay, so there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, now you're going to stab me here. And I want to step in to that one. Here, backhand line, you stuff stab, tip rips, that cuts out on the way up. Yeah, let's go there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Go low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm over exaggerating my footwork, so hopefully it makes it a little bit more apparent as I'm going through here. Got it. One more time. Good. Good. Okay. So I'm actually going to have to reverse this photo, just so that I need to be able to show off what long distance guy is doing when we're doing this. Okay. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just got stabbed in the head, which means I didn't sidestep enough and enter. Okay? One of the reasons I'm wearing glasses. 2, one of the dangers of the long knife. Okay? I didn't check that. When we're going through this and moving, long distance guy is to, part of this one is he wants to maintain long distance. With me in his face with a short bladed knife in here is not a great deal for him. Okay? So I want to be burrowing, he wants to be creating distance. So we're going to reverse the feed on that so that he's now the learner. Okay, so he's going to go reverse grip. I'm going to go forward grip. Okay, so okay, let's just do it here. Okay, so on the feed, so I'm now the feeder. I feed one, he scoops, grabs my elbow here, okay, and then stabs underneath. Okay, so scoop, okay, good. So once he has done that, okay, so he's done that here, I'm going to pass this, and I'm going to loop and cut. Loop and cut. I'm going to aim for the arm. He's not wearing glasses on this one, but that's not a big deal. Okay, so I'll go right foot forward. Okay, here, scoop and enter. So see how I'm moving back? I'm using this to create distance and move back and create space for myself. Okay, I don't want to go. Again, footwork is everything on this, and footwork includes body motion when we're talking about this. One, okay, if I just stay here and he goes, and I rely on this, body's still there if I screw this up, right? So in most things in Pikiti, we try to emphasize that footwork makes you safe, your hands are just insurance. Right? Even if I totally blow my hands here and he goes to stab, I'm out of range. Even if this hand is totally not in play anymore.
And you still nick me on the way out.
Yeah, but again, the point is I don't get stabbed. Beyond injuring you, it's that I'm safe. Right, is emphasis here, right? So scoop out, now I'm going to thrust. So right, so backhand, good here, and then you're going to also want to check this way here, and then you're going to go good, like that. Okay, so let's do that. So scoop, here, back, good. I step across, right, look here, I'm going to step, I'm going to go higher and step. Okay, you're going to do number one, move on. Okay, and then you're also going to step up this way. There you go, good. Come back here, boom, and we're going to reset. Scoop, low line, here, on backhand, good. Across, good, and back here. Good. Go underneath.
Right.
Good. Good. Here. Nope. Number one. Bang. There you go. That's right. Okay, let's not circle each other. Circling is exactly right. You should be doing circles around each other with this, but just for opportunity on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, back that up. 1. Nope.
No, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So that's your main defense.
Nice.
That's weapon primary on the defense. All of these, so one of the actually interesting things on the Tri-V is weapon is usually primary defense, just to make life simple. The passing is great, but in most cases you're hitting them with your weapon, right? Even if it's weapon forearm, you're using that weapon arm, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for me, as a long distance guy now, I don't want to be close to him. I want to be out here, right? I want to pick him apart at long range. And so my footwork needs to emphasize that. I'm not just coming in and trying to get to close range on him here. I'm trying to actually stay at long range. I've got, especially in this case where I got a longer knife, I don't want to get close quarters with that guy. He's bigger than me. That's a bad grappling situation waiting to happen. So one of the things that'll happen now is we're going to spread, and we'll step back a little bit, okay, is we're going to, and take a quick step, okay, we're good, step back. I'm going to be long distance guy, so a little bit more fencing oriented, but again, I want, and we're not going to do this fast, but instead of being this distance to stab, I'm going to go this way, right? And he's going to do exactly what he wants to do, okay? So we're going to start off a little bit further apart, step, oh crap, get away. So, see how far I've separated this? bang, okay? I want to stay at the end of my reach, and every time he has to reorient to me. I'm going to be really working my angles, right? You know, bikini, Filipino martial arts angles. As I move around this guy, his job is actually to close, because he's in the worst situation here. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3. Okay, good, here, come across. 4, 5. See how I'm maintaining distance here? He tries to burrow. Good. Good, come across. And so, now you need to get into range to actually be able to use that. So every time you're going to have to make up steps to get close. We're beyond the point of the choreographed drill now, right? Now we're moving and flowing back and forth between each other as I put bigger parameters on this. And this is where natural footwork has to come in, where he's like, I'm out of distance. I'm going to take a step forward. If you have short legs on that, and it's a reverse, and he's longer leg guy, maybe I have to take 2 steps to make up for that. This is the point where these drills become a little bit more free flow. We went from the regimented form kata piece of it. We did the staged I go, then you go, then I go, then you go. We're still there on this, but we're moving. We're making it a little bit more dynamic on this. We're not being competitive yet. This isn't sparring. It's not even, it's still the same drill, but there's still lessons now in this that we're trying to do. How do I close that distance? How do I maintain my distance? For each person here has a different drill. And one of the really things I appreciate about this one is that it's a different lesson for each person, right? Some drills are, you're both doing the same thing offbeat, the sub-ion drills, stuff like that. This one, not so much. This one it's got a different lesson depending on which side of the drill you want. Okay, so I'm going to work a little bit more long range guy. Okay, so you have a reverse grip. So, and again, nothing's going to change, but I'm going to practice that distance. So, right, so now think about how you want to make that up again. You don't want to stay at that middle ground. You want to close with me, right? So, bang. So you want to close. Bang. So right, so I've got my distance here. Bang. Good. So you need to close. Here. Okay? Good. So you can see that interaction, right? I'm trying to stay it long. I'm even on that little scoop, I'm really trying to maintain long distance with that, rather than always staying in really tight or staying in a static middle point. Good, I think we're gonna, so that's, and this drill is called, I think we've got it as like polysuit, which is, polysuit is hooking. Is where it shows up in my notes as basically asymmetric polysuit, and that's just a name that Mandala Jason and I both use, and we put it into the curriculum that way. That was a rough drill, right? I mean, that's about 50 minutes of drilling right there to get us to that point. You guys have any questions on that material or anything else right now that we need to cover? Yeah, I'll just leave it out for there.
I was hoping I could also make another point where the constant striking of the wrist, and it reflected back to some of those people who say about some of the knife disarming videos and how you hit the wrist, but you've been hitting my wrist, and even though it gets wobbly, I still maintain my grip on the knife. Okay, actually, this is a good point. Let's reverse this. You are a long distance guy. Okay. So this is actually a really. I should have come here. Okay. So we're doing. I'm reverse grip guy. Okay. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Reverse grip guy is unarmed. Okay. This is when we convert over. Low. Okay. So. And maybe that here, let's do it this way, just so you can see it. Again, I want to close. I want to get control here. Here, that's that downward scoop. Here, yeah, that may be groin shot, that may be uppercut. I'm closing the grapple, right, from this stage. So that's my application to unarmed comes from reverse grip, not really this guy. So here, bang, bang. So you keep doing your job. So
So you get past it here, okay? Cover. Here, bang! Nothing changes on that one, right? So that could be a punch, that could be my overhand. So low, here, okay? So now I'm giving you a little bit more oomph on the arms, right? Whereas I'm not hitting with the knife. Now I'm hitting with the forearms. Now I'm still not hitting hard, but I just want to give you that feel of that impact. And this is a case where on that one here, bang, so pass it. Good. Here, bang. Okay? And again, I'm still not hitting real hard, but I gave him that shot, so he can feel like, oh, well, that sucked. Okay? I don't have the knife. I can't stab him in the face. I can hammer that arm, or I can hammer that arm. Maybe this is my punch, maybe that's my elbow as we come into that application. So here, boom, boom, good, boom, boom. Okay? So, again, I'm not, so.
That's okay.
Boom, 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 bang. Okay, so now we're into that. Boom, okay, come here, boom. Okay? Okay, that last series, this line, right, that's the downward hammer fist. It can be radial, it can be here, okay? And then 1 to 2 can be an application on that one, okay? You see that big hook coming in, this is my cover, and there's my slam, right? That may be into a wrap, and your 2 is now the brachial spine coming back this way. Okay, so bang, bang. Okay, on the backhand side of that one, let's just do the whole thing. So here, boom, boom, here, boom, right? As you come back in. Okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, so that's some of the unarmed application. I meant to mention that earlier and I totally forgot. Yeah, any other questions? We're right at the end of our time here, so. Let's see, any other questions that you have?
No, it was just that one question at one point on the whole knife disarmament thing. See, no matter how hard you were hitting on my wrist, I was still holding on to it, but you have been weakening the grip though. So I thought that I would make that note as well. So hitting the wrist, hitting the forearm, well, it hasn't disarmed me, it is weakening my grip on the weapon, so eventually you could easily disarm it later.
Or you're just weakening them, right, as we go into that. So good. The question came in, that was great. Thanks. Yeah, we're going to leave these live streams up, so if you need to come back and hit them again, we hope that's useful. So, great. I will see you next week. Again, next Wednesday until until my regular classes are going again. So, glad that was good. I'll see you next week.